and welcome back to the Goose vlog. Today we have a vet corner with me. My name is Reeta and I'm a veterinarian that has been working with the shelter for a while now. And this is my little helper, Noah, that will be joining the session today. So today's topic is really important. We are going to talk about what you can do if you encounter a sick or an injured animal while you're traveling. And today's video will be divided into two sections. So in the first part, we will give you some advice on how to recognize emergencies and how to evaluate if the animal requires your help. And in the second part, we are going to give you some advice on how to give first aid to some common injuries and illnesses that might need immediate care. So let's get into the first part. Let's say you encounter a sick or an injured animal while you're on vacation. How can you tell if the animal needs your help or not? Well, first of all, I would advise you to think about the situation from the animal's perspective. So you can ask yourself questions like, is the animal able to move? Are they able to find food for themselves? Do they seem to be in obvious pain? Or are they located near a dangerous area, for example a busy road? If the animal is not able to take care of themselves, is in obvious pain or in further danger, the animal needs your help. And if the animal can move properly, seems to be quite well fed and is located in a more safe and quiet area, you don't necessarily need to do anything. We are now moving to the second part, so emergency situations and first aid tips. So some common emergency situations you might encounter when you're traveling are heat strokes, hypothermia, animals that have been hit by a car, severe cat flus and wounds. And here are some first aid tips for you to keep in mind if you encounter an animal like this. In all of these cases, the life of the animal is at risk, so after you give first aid, the animal needs to be taken to see a veterinarian as soon as possible. But firstly, we will discuss about heat stroke. The most common symptoms of a heat stroke are heavy panting, heavy breathing, salivation, difficulties when moving or restlessness. And if you see an animal suffering from a heat stroke, you need to get the body temperature of the animal down. So firstly, move the animal away from direct sun and into the shade. Then you can pour some cold water on the paws, belly and ears of the animal. Or even better if you can wet some towels with cold water and put them on the animal. If you have a car with you, you can pick the animal up and bring them to your car and put the AC on. And you can also offer the animal some water to drink, but don't force them to drink if they are not able to. A second situation is hypothermia. The most common symptoms of hypothermia are shivering, stiffness of movement, cold extremities, so the ears, paws and the tail, slow breathing and light or bluish gums. And if you encounter an animal like this, you need to get the body temperature of the animal up. So you can do this by wrapping the animal in blankets or towels, holding them against your own body. You can also get them in your car if you have one and put the AC on warm. It is important to understand that animals can suffer from hypothermia even if the outside temperature is high. Animals in risk of hypothermia are animals that have been injured severely, are bleeding heavily, or have gone through a traumatic experience recently. Third emergency situation are animals that have been hit by a car. Injuries caused by cars or other vehicles usually are severe and require veterinary care. The issue is not only the visible wounds, but also the traumatic experience itself can cause shock and lead to life-threatening complications like hypothermia. So if the animal is bleeding heavily, try to stop the bleeding by pressing a clean cloth in the wound. You can also wrap the animal in blankets or towels to prevent hypothermia and try to soothe the animal with calm words and a firm grip. And fourth emergency situation, you might encounter animals with severe infections. Often these are cats with severe form of cat flu, and the most common symptoms are excessive crusting and pus around the eyes and nose, and also heavy or loud breathing. The infection might also have destroyed the eyes. So if you see an animal like this, there is not much you can do by yourself, so get them to the veterinarian as soon as possible. And finally, you might encounter animals with different kinds of wounds. If the wound is fresh, bleeding or infected, you should try to get the animal to the vet. If they are fresh wounds, you can pour some clean water on them to get them clean. And if they are bleeding, again press a clean cloth on the wound to try to suppress the bleeding before going to the vet. Unfortunately, it is not possible to help all animals in need, and so try to prioritize animals that really need the help. So animals that are not able to take care of themselves or are in immediate danger. Finally, we want to discuss the ways you can help these animals, and the best way you can help is by bringing them to a veterinarian. So this is because these animals really need veterinary care, and they should be treated as soon as possible. After they have seen a vet, you can take the time to call for some help or ask advice from local shelters on what to do with the animal. But anyway, it is not responsible to leave an injured or a sick animal outside a shelter and hope that someone else will take care of the problem. So shelters usually are filled to the max, so there are no extra space for animals usually, and they are also often run by volunteers, so just normal people like you and me. So it is everyone's, also yours, responsibility to take care of animals in need or animals that are suffering. So try to do your best to really take care of the animal and bring the animal to the vet, and then ask for advice on what to do with the animal after they have been seen by a vet. Your help is really invaluable, and it could be the thing that saves the animal's life. So I hope you remember that the next time you are traveling and see an animal in need. Thank you for listening.